would you share a winning PPT with us, and also walk us through the the thought process of preparing a PPT. Also tell us about what's the mindset before the quiz competitions and when you approach any challenges. So what are the challenges that you face and how you set a goal in an entire PPT actually.
Okay, so I'll just walk you through a few decks and I'll just explain the methodology, the approach that my team as a whole adopted, and how we went about each part of the case. Just a brief synopsis I'll provide. My screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, so this competition is actually very close to my heart because we were the runners-up in this competition. And brief of this competition is that ITC as a company, what they wanted that they gave example of a company XYZ which had less number of women in shop floor, and they actually wanted to increase the proportion of women in shop floor across different plants of the country. So they provided data, both numeric and non-numeric data, which included interviews of certain senior professionals also.
Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new series of Case Mantra. Today we are honored to have our esteemed guest Arushi from MDI Gurgaon. With a remarkable track record as a national winner/finalist in over 15 case competition. So I welcome you Arushi in this video of Case Mantra, and please tell us little bit about yourself.
So hello Anand. So I've graduated from MDI Gurgaon and I'll be soon joining ITC. So this with respect to this topic that we'll be discussing, like I've always thought of the entire duration of MBA as a complete journey that not only comprises of academics, of clubs, committees, organizing events. You have your projects, you have your internships, you have your competitions. So with so many things on the tray, it's actually difficult for every individual to focus diligently on each aspect. So many a times we pick and choose and completely ignore certain parts of this. So my aim through this session will be focusing on this case competition journey, because I've always thought this as a learning experience rather than just approaching and winning of competitions and earning prizes. That's, I'll say, extrinsic motivators. So that's a brief about me and with respect to the topic that we'll be discussing.
And so tell us about how do you decide that okay, I'm going to choose this case competition, I'm going to work on that. So what are the factors that you look for while you select any case to work on?
So as I said that there are so many things on the tray, so we have to at times do cost benefit analysis because we have number of case competitions and we have specific time to dedicate to each. So instead of doing all randomly, it's better to focus on a few diligently. So the factors that I normally look for while selecting case competition is first, I'll say it will be the quality of the case, because if the case is of good quality, by which I mean it helps me to broaden my perspective, it enhances my learning, and actually it gives me an opportunity to apply the frameworks and knowledge through class lectures in a practical scenario. If the case provides that thing, I'll definitely go for that. Apart from it, there are other factors such as reputation of the competition, some extrinsic motivators, which I'll say the rewards, the recognitions, which are also important factors. So I'll say I believe these are some of the factors that one can actually look forward in a case competition, and definitely one that has a good time frame that suits your schedule. That's definitely obviously an important thing.
And could you share some insight how you select your team member last point of time, because many a time what happens, we choose our friends as a team member and at the last moment they bail out that okay, now you have registered, they bail out that I cannot do that, I have a lot of works. So tell us about that something.
Yes, you were right on point, because many times it happens that team members, sometimes it happens that you are not aware of those who have a similar mindset at yours. Like you may be looking forward to competition as something that you'll be focusing on seriously, and for some it may be just an obligation. So that's difficult to focus on initially. So what I'll suggest, what I look forward in while comprising team members is first the hard skills. That is a team in which one is good in focusing on financials, one is good in focusing on the core HR skills or core marketing skills, and one who actually does the entire finishing or UI of the PPT in a very clear and precise way. Though it's difficult to find all qualities in one individual, but it's just, I believe, one should complement, like the team should complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. That's one thing that I look forward to. That's first and foremost, like the thing of top priority. Second, definitely, is the mindset of individual. That's the soft skills. Individuals who have a good work dynamic, a good work ethic, and who are committed to focus on the competition and are ready to dedicate that much amount of time and effort, definitely those members you will choose. So sometimes it's hit and trial basis, but I was grateful enough. I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to interact with so many good members, and I formed a core 3 to 4 member team with whom I participate in most of the case competitions. So it's just complementary skills that you mostly focus.
Why do you believe that selection of team members is so much important in the context of case competitions?
See, I believe that not all battles can be, fought alone and won alone. So there are some battles in
Yeah.
which you need help and support of members. And I'm not saying that if one individual participates, as a solo participant, the person may not win. The person may win, but it's a short-term perspective. For a long-term perspective, you need to build a team. Now, why it is important is that a team's success, whether it's a win or whether it's a loss or whether it's a good learning journey, that is the cumulative thing of all the team members' efforts, their dedication, their knowledge. So each team member, the kind of effort, the kind of dedication one puts in, most important thing is consistency over here. If the members are consistent enough that even after putting in that much effort in a case competition, if one does not win, the team members are ready to put in that much amount of effort or double that effort in the next competition again. So it's the team success. The overall journey will be determined by the cumulative thing of the team members. That's why it's the most important thing.
Everybody wants to see that how a winning PPT looks like. So would you share a winning PPT with us, and also walk us through the the thought process of preparing a PPT?
Okay, so I'll just walk you through a few decks and I'll just explain the methodology, the approach that my team as a whole adopted, and how we went about each part of the case. Just a brief synopsis I'll provide. This competition is actually very close to my heart because we were the runners up in this competition. And a brief of this competition is that ITC as a company, what they wanted that they gave example of a company XYZ which had less number of women in shop floor, and they actually wanted to increase the proportion of women in shop floor across different plants of the country. So they provided data, both numeric and non-numeric data, which included interviews of certain senior professionals also, as to what are the reasons they think that the proportion of women is less. So we had to devise the entire strategy to explain that how we can increase the proportion of women to improve the gender ratio as a whole. So what we went about is there are three parts of a case competition when we see of a case study. The first is understanding of the case. Okay, so after understanding how you interpret the case, that's important. So discussion and to understand the perspective of all members is essential. What we did here, for example, is we divided it into parameters and blocks that we're focusing on. For example, so that the proportion of women in the plant increases, it's important that not only sensitization is done, but starting from recruitment, retention, career development, performance management, and rewards, all the parameters need to be equally focused on so that we reach the end goal. So here we focus on what are the key issues for each parameter, what our approach will be in brief, and then what the outcome of the approach will be. So this first slide or second slide, depending on number of limit you have in the number of slides, it should show your approach of the entire case study, your understanding, right? So it should be clear. There should be clarity that what are the parameters you're focusing on, what is your understanding, and now in the next from the next slide onwards, what you will be focusing in detail on. So we did benchmarking, that is obviously essential with the comparators. Then each parameter we focused on separately. We understood why it is needed, the benefits, how to achieve it, and we also utilized numeric data extensively. Towards the end, we'll be focusing on financials also. What are the best practices, and then we focused on other parameters. So here you can see that the approach that we are following is a T approach. Now T approach means many of you might be knowing that it is putting forth a series of initiatives, a series of ideas or our implementation towards solving this problem, and then focusing on a few in detail. That's what we did over here. We focused on a few in detail, and we also did the entire financials of it, taking examples of approximation of the data. It should be approximation as close as the original. That would actually help back your approach. So if you back your approach, your problem, your solution with numbers, it will definitely add more value. So this is what we're trying to do in the appendix. We just took an example of how we think the cost can be, and at the end, the number of women hiring per level, how we can improve, and the overall total number of women hired can be increased additionally over a period of time. After this is done, a strategic roadmap is essential to understand that over certain months, how we will implement this entire approach. So this is just a brief. My aim through this entire deck was to explain that after the initial first two slides are done showing your roadmap, what course of action is there throughout the next number of slides. One should always make sure that you don't put n number of solutions. I've seen some of my juniors as well as some of my batchmates putting n number of solutions and not focusing on a few diligently. So it's just ideas which does not have any backing. It does not have any practicality attached to it. So always make sure that you don't leave any blind spot unexplored while one is making the deck.
That's very insightful, actually.
Yeah, and also many times it happens that case is
Yes.
very open-ended. Sometimes it's very objective. There are certain questions provided that you have to solve 3-4 questions, so you know what you are going forward to. But many times it's open-ended. It's open to your interpretation, how you go about. So in that case, it's more challenging, but it also gives a better opportunity to do an end-to-end analysis of the entire case. And I'll always suggest that even though it's an HR based competition, because the deck which I showed, it was an HR competition where we were the runners up, but we as an HR team also did financials extensively. So it's important that
Yes.
your every decision that you are showing in your deck, it has a number backing that will add validity to it.
People at the higher level, they understand the number, and I heard one of them saying that I eat number, I drink number, I sleep number, I do everything number. So numbers are very much important to them.
Because the judges of case competitions are definitely very senior professionals. Many times they are
Yeah.
CHROs or very senior VPs. So they definitely will not see something which does not have a practicality attached to it. So they will
Yes.
hold you on spot at that point of time.
And thank you for sharing your lovely PPT. It was very interesting to see that. And now tell us about in that entire making of a PPT, and tell us about what are the challenge that you faced. Like also tell us about how much time did you take to prepare a winning PPT actually.
Okay, so apart from this PPT, I'll say that this deck which I showed is very close to my heart, also because I'll be joining the same company. And
Yes.
if you talk about the time that it took, after my PPO results were announced, the next day we started doing this deck. So it was actually, a lot of motivation required and a lot of internal motivation that, you should go for it, even though you now can be relaxed. But yes, it was definitely, this is how the team actually, they boost your spirit. That's how the team benefits. That's how it's the benefit of the entire team. And I had the
Yes.
support of my members, so definitely that was possible. Now, when I talk about challenges, see, when you approach a case, first of all, after forming a team, you have to see whether you will be going forward with the case or not. Many times it happens that after going through the case, you decide that maybe that will not give you that much return, either on basis of learning or some tangible rewards. So you drop it. So what my suggestion will be that after understanding of the case, reading the data, that is your interpretation of the thing, is a very important step that is mostly undermined. What happens is people understand and then they start with implementation, but to leave this interpretation and discussion part, it is actually important because all members inputs are essential. So like when we started making the deck, after we formulated what will be, we brainstormed a lot, and a lot of time needs to be spent on that, because many of your inhibitions which you think is right may not be that much rewarding when you discuss it with your members, right? So that is how a lot of brainstorming, a lot of time needs to be spent on brainstorming, and after that formulating initial strategies in raw form, that these are the strategies you'll be focusing on, these are the blind spots that you'll be hitting, these are the low hanging fruits that you'll be first focusing on. So after that, testing each strategy, building a roadmap for each, and then seeing that with which you can go ahead with, which will be your star strategy in the deck. That one framework, that one thing actually can help a team win or lose a case competition. That has happened with my team also. So that's why it's important that this time needs to be spent a lot before the final implementation. Definitely after implementation, a lot of changes still need to be made, because then you're refining your deck, you are again refining, you are understanding, again you are revisiting, you're reflecting on the things that you've done, and after that approaching a mentor, a senior, someone who can give you valid inputs will actually help.
Yes.
Maybe there are some important points that you missed out on, right? So that can be notified. So that is, I believe, the entire journey. And if I talk about the time that you asked, it takes several days. This PPT, I believe it took about 2 weeks, 10 days or 2 weeks for us to make. And almost every day we sat till 2 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. in the library or computer center. And yes, like it takes a lot of consistency. I believe sometimes sacrifice. But at the end, it's worth it when you see the reward that you get, not only in the form of cash prize, but definitely also in the form of learning, in the form of your growth as an individual.
Yeah. And tell us about how your mindset evolved when you won a case competition, and how your problem solving perspective changes in an entire team or scenario. You can also tell us about that.
See, perspective, definitely academically it does help, because then you are actually testing your own knowledge, your own
Yes.
understanding of what you learned in class, and you're applying it in a real world scenario. You're seeing how the thing actually works in a real industry case, and you're seeing that whether the frameworks are valid or not. So academically that does help. Second is your way of approaching a case, your way of formulating the internal strategies, your way of looking at the case actually changes a lot, and it does get refined. Like, I'm not saying that those who are not doing case competition, they don't have a good way of approaching problem. They definitely have, but from my personal experience, it does help. And yes, academically it does. And as I said that consistency and resilience also gets a boost when you are doing case competition.
Yes.
There may be instances when you have put in a lot of efforts, a lot of time, and maybe a lot of emotions have been invested, but you are not able to win a case competition. That happened with my team also. but rising from that, having faith in yourself and again reflecting on what didn't work, that will help an individual further in life also, I believe. So that is a valid addition that helps by taking this.
Reflecting on your entire experience of 15 case competitions, uh, can you tell us about the key factors that contribute to a team's success in a competition?
Okay, like as I said, a team success is whether they are supporting each other in times that are not so easy, in tough times, right? Initially, when I started this journey, we had a strong team of 3 members, and we were doing case competitions extensively. We made it to the national finals of the first 3 or 4 that we did, so it we got a lot of boost in our confidence. That did help us, and we went on to winning a few of them also. But after that, there was a point when we were doing a few case competitions, 1 or 2. We were focusing on both at the same time, and we couldn't actually make it. We couldn't win those competitions, so that was a hit on our confidence. It does, but looking at this journey, I believe that it's your members' mindset. It's having that strong work ethic. It's actually being sincerely attached to this journey that does help. Because when times are good, when you're winning case competitions, you want to win more. It happens. But when you're not winning, then actually reflecting on your past experience, learning from that, seeking feedback from your seniors, what didn't work, what is their feedback on that, their perspective, refining your work on that. Even after win, also we reflected on our decks, and that actually helped us to to better our experience and to better approach a problem in the next attempt. So yeah, that's the journey that I look as a whole.
Now, can you share some advice with us if somebody trying to excel in a case competition based upon your own experience and learning?
So my advice, okay, a lot of things I want to say. First is
Yes.
many of us start doing case competition because of either the rewards, the recognition. That's a good way of starting, definitely. But what will help one stay in this journey is the motivation. That's internal motivation to learn from every experience, because either a win or either in times of defeat you learn in both cases. So that will actually help. Second, MBA, the entire 2 year journey, I believe, offers you a lot of opportunities. So to not leave any arena unexplored is what we can do as a basic minimum. So I would advise that everyone should at least do one case competition very diligently, and then one should decide whether one wants to go about in this journey or not, because that does take a lot of efforts, a lot of emotions are invested, and a lot of sacrifices also. Like when I look back at my journey, I still remember a few days before my college was about to end, there was a fest organized. That was the last fest at MDI Gurgaon, and my friends were calling me for the fest, and I was here making the deck. So those are times when you feel that let's leave this deck and go for the fest. But staying consistent and staying sincere to that thing helps at the end. So take this as a learning experience, as not as just winning competitions. And yes, like always, see your growth as an individual in this journey, and you look back and you'll realize that you have actually got that delta in life, like what you were before, the way you approached your problem before, and after this journey, the way you are looking at things, that will get modified. So that was my basic advice.
And with that, we would like to conclude this entire discussion. If you guys have any more questions, so feel free to write those questions into comment. And if you like this video, feel free to share with all your friends that are in B school or in any case competition. You can share it. So that's all from our side. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Jai Hind.